momentum? Like you talk about, see 1-3 go in, the next will go in. Like, does that apply to steals and defense and stuff like that too? You think?
No, I never thought about that. I think guys just did a good job executing the game plan. It was good attention to detail by the players. I thought their physicality and their ball pressure was great. And when you have that type of ball pressure, you force guys into poor spacing, and then you're able to kind of make plays. I just thought the guys did a great job, executing the details of the game plan. And I thought we played with a good level of energy throughout the entire game. Everybody that played.
And then with Mimi, it feels like guys are finding him more and more in the pick and roll. What have you seen from him in terms of his ability to sort of like navigate space like that on the court, and then also from the ball handlers like getting used to?
Yeah, I mean, it's a relationship. It's a two-man relationship that you have to constantly build, but everything just depends on how you're being defended. So he's doing a great job screening, creating 2-on-1s, and then like you said, we're finding him in the seam. But depending upon how teams are guarding us, will always dictate the reads that we make. But he's doing a great job developing as a player, and then I think those two-man relationships, they're building well.
Joe, what are you seeing from Derrick? Just seems to be kind of slowly getting back to himself. What are you seeing from him?
Yeah, I mean, I think he has a lot of responsibility. I think he's carried us for a while as far as leading the team in steals, leading the team in blocks, doing everything defensively. He does a really good job of just knowing when to kind of take over and when to kind of facilitate, and he can be a steadying force. He can go on a run by himself, and but he's got that it factor at times. So tonight I thought. In the middle of the second quarter is kind of when he went on his run, I just kind of felt like we put the ball in his hands, we'll make great things. And he started out the half in the third quarter doing a lot of that. But he's playing well offensively for us.
And then in terms of, like, with Jaylen out, it just seemed like this is maybe a good opportunity for other guys to kind of show what they can do and just play different roles. I mean, how important is that to give guys, maybe an added opportunity?
Yeah. I mean, I don't. I think the two things that stood out to me was besides our overall team effort and physicality. I thought Jordan set the tone for us. Defensive on both ends of the floor. He had. He only had 2 offensive rebounds. I felt like he had more, but I just thought he set the tone. Like he was unscreenable. Did a great job making plays defensively. I thought offensively he did a great job there. And then I thought Anthony's physicality defensively was brought to a different level. And so I don't know that it was much about guys playing different roles as much as it was guys, making sure they do their job and they play their absolute best and stick to the game plan and play with a level of physicality there. And I thought everybody did that. I thought those two guys stuck out in particular.
For Jordan, when he's
it's twice today. You just keep cutting people off. Wow. It's all about you. Go ahead.
When he's rolling, when he's driving, when he's playing around the basket, Jordan, how have you seen him improve in that area? Is it poise? Is it decision making? Like, how is he finding more success inside?
I think it's mostly just, again, being defended by different matchups, you have to just really get good at screening techniques and screening reads. And I think he's slowly mastering being able to understand who his matchup is, what type of screen he has to set, and what that read is afterwards. And so I think he's doing a really good job of that. But he's had a lot of reps and some time of knowing, is the 5 on me, is there a small on me, are they switching me, are they maintaining? And he's doing a real good job in real time of understanding what those reads are and what the screening technique that goes with it.
How do you get better at that, especially for him where he wasn't playing a ton the first 2 years? Like, are there certain drills, reps of the film?
Yeah, just reps, drills, reads, having an understanding. I think he takes a lot of pride in that. I mean, I think it's an underrated thing, but also our player development staff does a great job of putting him in situations to where you got to read that. He does it every day, but it's something that he's gotten really good at.
Joe, also on Jordan, from where we sit, we don't see the progress the guys are making behind the scenes, right? It kind of feels like this kind of came out of nowhere this past month of play that he's had, but from your standpoint, has this been like a progression over the past 2 years that this was just the natural next step, or do you feel like he kind of had this moment where he turned a corner and everything kind of clicked?
I don't know if there was one moment, but it hasn't come out of nowhere. I mean, I think you're always evaluating, like you said. To me, obviously the games are the most important, and that's what you guys cover the most. But the workouts, if we practice at, if we shoot around at 10:30, the workout that starts at 9:45 is just as important as the game. The 30 minutes before practice are just as important. The way you do a shoot around is important in film session. It's just he's chipped away at just taking advantage of every possible moment that he knows he has to get better, and so it hasn't come at a surprise at all. But he takes very seriously if it's a 15-minute workout, a 30-minute workout, he takes that seriously, and that's just as important as the game. And you're kind of seeing that with him.
Sorry, Joe. Nearly 20 minutes of small ball tonight. Josh playing a role in each iteration. What are the kind of responsibilities he's taken in those lineups, and how's he stepped up in that role? Yeah,
he's in that same category, right? Of matchups being switched constantly, understanding, having full awareness. It could change every play, could change every dead ball. Who's on me? What type of screen should I be sending? What's the spacing? Where should I be? And he's been diligent in his understanding of what that is too, and he's getting more comfortable with that tonight. Played this particular coverage, he had to do a little bit of the dirty work with screen setting and rebounding, and I thought he did that well. And he's continuing to grow in that area, but it's big for us when he's able to execute that.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks.